Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, a standalone actual play tabletop role-playing podcast. Every episode we play a different rule set, have a varied set of characters, and a self-contained microplot of a complete adventure with a beginning and an end that fits into the overarching macroplot of the whole season. Because each episode stands sturdily on their own, you can listen to these episodes in any order and can skip any you don't enjoy. Today is a special episode because this one will be one of two companion episodes. Companion episodes are fun experiments where we take two sets of players and put them in the same story. Will they make wildly different choices? Maybe. Let's listen to the end and find out. Today, we're using the game mechanics from a game called Risus Epic. If you enjoy these mechanics, you can find Risus Epic from the website www.resusiverse.com/home/optional-rules/Risus-epic. And Resusiverse is spelled RISUSIVERSE. The rule set is fairly light, easy to pick up, and well suited to imaginative roleplay. So, our players today should feel right at home. Speaking of players, today we are joined by Bill the Statue Man.
Hello, my name's Bill the Statue Man. I'm a 7-foot-tall, walking, living statue. I am handsome, although some people say I look stoned.
And we also have Maeve Dara Flame.
Bonjour, my name is Maeve. I am a fire genasi. I am very tall. I'm 6 foot tall. So that sometimes changes when I get angry. I have bright flames for hair that change color depending on how angry I am or whatever kind of things I consume. And my skin kind of looks like lava cooling and cracking over and over. And my eyes, I've been told, can be hard to look at because they are such a pale blue. And I'm usually running around wearing a piratey outfit.
Nice. Thank you, players. So, you are both sitting in the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild Hall. The guild is a cozy wooden interior, and it's warm and inviting. In the back, there's a bar, a seating area with wooden tables and chairs, and a wall with a corkboard where the job flyers are normally posted. It is a Saturday morning, and the guild hall is almost completely empty. The only other person here besides you is Nusi the bartender. She calls to each of you, asking what you want for breakfast in an attempt to break the silent monotony that permeates the guild hall.
I don't eat, but perhaps I could get some rock polish.
I'm not sure what Nusi sounds like canonically, so I'm just going to make this up. Well, dear, looks like we have rock polish just for you. Let me get it off the top shelf. We'll get the best polish for you. She reaches to the top shelf. She gets it for you. And you, dear?
I would like some... can you make spicy pancakes? Like big pancakes with a little bit of, what is the word? The jalapenos? Jalapenos?
Oh. Normally, the people of this guild have palates that are so... non-adventurous. I didn't expect that from an adventuring guild, but finally, somebody is ordering something with flavor. It would be my pleasure. And so she turns around, fires up the griddle, very excitedly starts getting ingredients, whipping them together, and before you know it, batter is made and it is being poured on the griddle, and you hear the sizzle of your impending pancakes. So while this is taking place, you're in an empty guild hall.
Hello, Bill. Do anything interesting lately? It seems like everybody has left without us to go adventuring.
I recently killed some purple slime. That was pretty fun.
That does sound like an adventure. What does the purple slime do?
It makes you see people that you want to hurt, and you will attack them. But luckily, we got rid of it all. It was not very good. What have you been up to, Maeve?
Mostly, I've been avoiding my ex-bosses. I accidentally kind of made them a little mad last time I ran into them. So I've been, how do you say, laying low Oh, and I also am trying to find the most epic hat again, because my luck is not well.
Well, if I see a good hat, I will let you know. Bill's going to walk over and look at the corkboard to see if there's any job postings.
All right. So you look at the corkboard and you note that there are plenty of thumbtacks, but no jobs currently on the corkboard. And as you walk over there, Nusi, being very aware of what's going on around her while flipping pancakes, she turns to you and tells you that all the other teams were there earlier and snatched them up. You gotta be quick, especially on a Saturday.
Well, I suppose the old saying's true that a rolling stone gathers no moss. And then he wipes a little bit of moss off his elbow.
As you are freeing yourself from the moss that is growing on you, and Nusi turns to Maeve, serves her the pancakes, and while she is pushing this plate of pancakes toward Maeve, from the front of the guild hall, the front door, you see Nulasag walk in, and he is accompanied with a very, very, very old dwarf. You're familiar with Nulasag because he's your boss. He's a dwarf about 2 feet tall. But the person that's with him is a little shorter than him, with medium-length white hair and jade green eyes. And they both make their way slowly to the nearest table. But it's obvious that the dwarf with Nulasag is having difficulty walking.
Mr. Nulasag, how did your adventure not go very well?
I'm sorry, what? I was distracted. This is my Gram. She's visiting. What was that, Maeve?
Oh, you did not go on adventure. You went to go get your family. I assumed, coming in as dignified as you did, that you had defeated some great enemy.
Oh, no. Sorry, I just like to slow down because she has trouble walking a lot of times, and I mean, not usually, just today. I'm so glad. Actually, I thought this place would be dead. It kind of is, but I'm so glad you two are here. Okay, I have a mission for you, but it's not really a mission so much of like a request. Are you guys available?
Maeve shovels a bunch of pancakes in her mouth, gives the plate back and goes, I am now, yes. And by the way, those were the best jalapeno the pancakes I have had ever.
Oh, Nusi greets you with a warm smile. She is very... That is the validation that she rarely seeks but always appreciates.
Now I want cheddar jalapeno pancakes.
They actually do kind of sound good.
I know, right? Like do them corn cake style, yeah. Anywho. Yeah.
So Nulasag turns to you, Bill, and Maeve is in, but he's wondering if you would like to do a request.
I would love to. I'm not doing anything else today.
Great. And so, hold on just a second. And so he gingerly escorts his grandmother to the table and allows her to sit down. And once she's rested, he turns back to you and says,
This is my Gam. Her name is Sinoja. And Gam, these are 2 of the guild members. This is Maeve, and this is Bill.
Bonjour,
Hello.
Gam.
Well, it's so lovely to meet you both. I've not met such delightfully beautiful people. I know that the guild is filled with such a variety of heroes, but the 2 of you really stand apart.
Aw, shucks.
I expect nothing less. I do try to intimidate.
Well, it's hard to intimidate an old dwarf, you know. Please, come closer. I'm having trouble with most everything. I'm old, after all.
Bill moves closer.
Fable, folds herself onto the floor, so she's, height-wise similar.
Well, I thank you for your willingness to help an old woman without a condition. I mean, Nulasag, I know he's a little scamp. He could ask you anything, but it's just a simple request. You've caught me at a bad time. I'm usually a little bit more robust than you see before you, there's a medicine I've been taking, well, for as long as I can remember, that's helped me be energetic as a young bull. Tastes awful, though. It's a bit bitter, like eating a ball of foil, and it burns all the way down and all the way out. Whew. And so there was this company that tried to market it as a cure-all, but people couldn't get past the taste. But I got a hold of someone who has the recipe, and he's in a small pharmacy in Shireford upon Emu, and they sell it on request. I may be the last person that buys it. Oof, I don't know anyone else who does. The man there's named Duncan, and he always places the order for me when I request. Such a sweet boy. The name of the pharmacy is called Rexcellent Remedies. I believe it's a play on prescription with the RX. Doesn't really communicate well in an audio medium, though. So the name of the medicine is called Holden Boldy's Golden Moldies, and I don't think it's very expensive at all here. And she turns and she opens this really delightful-looking coin purse, and she takes out 2 gold coins, and she says, I believe it's 1 gold per dose. Be a dear and get me 2 doses, will you? And she slides over the 2 coins. Yes?
Does she also have, like, Werther's Originals in that little bag of hers?
Absolutely, she does. Butterscotch and Werther's Originals, and then there's also a ball of exposed hard candies that have all stuck together, like it's a small ball.
Those weird strawberry ones that only your grandma has, that you can't figure out where you actually buy them.
Yes, she has all the candies. And then she also turns back and says, "Would you like a little candy, dear?"
I don't eat, but yes, please. And he holds out his hand.
Such a sweet boy.
And she puts a toffee in your hand.
And you, young lady?
Yes, please. Of course, I would love to try your candy. And also, Maeve, slides the 2 gold coins. I am bored today. Don't worry about it. You can just, pay the bartender your coins. I will get you your medicine. I only request one thing.
Oh, what's that?
I do need some, you said that our leader was scamp. I would request that when we return we get some, how do you say, the mail that is black, the blackmail stories.
Yes.
It
It would be my pleasure. That's what grandmothers do, my dear.
You're such a sweet thing here. And she turns to her coin purse again, and she pulls out 2 silver, and she hands 1 to each of you and says,
I know you won't let me pay for the medicine because you're such a sweet little thing, but please take these and buy something for yourselves.
Thank you.
Oh, of course.
Maeve is totally at some point when they return going to try to sneak this, but she is so much, she's like, yes, thank you, and she slides it in a pocket with the intention she's going to sneak it back in the purse at some point.
That would be great.
It's like, oh, well, I'm a bit weary. I'm behind on taking the medicine after all, and so I think I'm just going to sit here and rest. Nusi, would you mind giving me a hot tea?
Of course. And so she gets the hot tea, and do you need any of that information repeated? You can do it in character or out of character.
The town name?
Shireford upon Emu?
Shireford upon Emu, off the Emu River. It is kind of the next town up from Nicomoy in the north-northwest direction. And you know this because there is a map that is by the job board that shows the general vicinity.
What's the name of the medicine?
Holden Boldy's Golden Moldies.
Moldies. Oh, okay.
Also
Holden
goes by
Boldy's-
Holden Boldy's Golden Moldies.
Golden Moldy. Okay.
Or HBGM if you'd like.
And Duncan usually gets her stuff at Rexcellent Remedies?
Correct.
Okay.
And Duncan is the man that works there.
You got it all. So
Sweet.
glad I conveyed that properly.
So Bill looks over at Maeve and goes, "Are you ready to go get this lady's medicine?"
Maeve pops up off the floor, does like a couple stretches, and goes, "Lead the way, my stony friend."
Okay. And he just starts walking.
Nice. All right. So y'all are, you start walking out the door. It's a beautiful day. It's a bright Saturday. Every once in a while, you'll see a fellow adventurer doing something as you pass, trying to run from this place to that place and running themselves a little ragged. Your task seems a little less arduous, and so you're able to enjoy the breeze that's coming off the harbor. Flowers are in bloom. It's really nice. There's as you get close to the Emu River, there's just the soothing sounds of the river cascading along the rocky banks. It's almost like you were advised to go take a relaxing trip in the beautiful day, and so you just full of joy.
Well, shall we it's such a nice day, first of all. But should we take the boat up the river, or are we going to try to take by foot, or what is your preferred method of the travel?
If we take a boat, it's going to have to be a big one. I weigh about 5,000 pounds. That doesn't fit in a dinghy very well.
This is true. It is a very, very, you look only like you weigh a singleton. We could use you as anchor if need be, I suppose, but we could find a boat big enough.
About how far away is Shireford upon Emu?
I'd say walking, maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Okay, we can just hoof it.
I mean, y'all are both fairly tall, right? Your strides
Yeah.
are probably, yeah. I think you could handle that pretty well.
The day I make a short character fire-breathing kitten fandom, you know I've been kidnapped. It's a signal.
But you said this is a beautiful place, and
Well, you're walking there, like it's just the path, the day. It's all just kind
Okay.
of birds tweeting, butterflies fluttering, a gentle breeze,
a
all that
perfect
stuff.
spring afternoon.
Yeah. I'm sure this is not foreboding at all.
No, it's perfect.
All right.
So we just keep going, I guess.
So I would like to ask each of you, and as an aside to the listener, in Risus Epic, each character has a given number of cliches which define their character and who they are and what they can do. Do either of you have a cliche to do with awareness, either generally or specifically?
I have outdoorsman, and we are outdoors, so I assume I would notice changes in, wildlife or weather or whatever.
Okay. And you, Maeve?
Maeve's got nothing.
Okay.
Also, I have aspiring hero, so if someone's calling for help, I assume I would get a good roll on that one too.
Okay. So what I would like you to do is roll your die for your outdoorsman, and then Maeve, I would like you to roll a d20 since you're untrained in that general awareness. And what we're doing is this is a challenge. You have to beat a certain target number, and the lower you roll, the better. And if you roll under the target number, you will succeed.
I rolled a 1.
The best possible roll.
Getting out those good rolls early.
Nice. So, you both, this is an introduction to target stuff and rolling, so it wasn't a very arduous challenge. And so both of you hear over the sound of the river that's next to you, the growing sound of thundering hooves and rattling carriages coming from the direction of Nicomoy, where you just were from. Something is coming your way and very fast, and because you rolled so well, you know it's 3 or more carriages.
Are we in the way of them if we don't step off the path?
You are.
So Bill is going to step off the path and kind of wave Maeve over.
Maeve follows and goes, these carriages seem to be coming up rather quickly.
So, as you are edging your way to the side of the road, cresting the hill that you just came over, are 3 carriages, and they're like side by side. They're taking up the whole lane, and they're almost jockeying for position, trying to get there first. And so the one, just to visualize it for myself, there's the river, then there's the path, and then there's like a forest. Are you between the path and the river, or between the path and the forest?
I would say between the path and the forest, because there's more room to retreat and not end up in the drink.
Okay. I should have probably asked that first. Anyway, as they're coming up, the rightmost carriage sees you. Actually, they all see you, and they try to move in a way to avoid you. But the rightmost carriage that's closest to you ends up swerving violently and falling on its side. And the other 2 just keep going. And as it falls over, the contents of the cart just spill everywhere. And what you see before you scattered all on the path is just a small mountain of golden coins all over the place.
Bill is going to yell after the 2 that are continuing down the road, "Hey, slow down. Kids walk on this path."
They are gone, and the thundering hoof steps, that's not right. The thundering hoof beats, there we go. Just they drown out some of what you're saying, unless you're shouting.
I don't know
how much. Okay. Then they kind of give you a look like, who cares? And they keep going. But the driver that was in the cart that overturned was thrown clear. He's currently in kind of on the bank of the river. It's a little bit soft there. He's a little bit muddy, and he gets up, and he's got, you see he's about a 5'9" human, blonde hair, tan skin, and it's a very fancy suit, now covered in mud. Very fancy, especially for a carriage driver. And he looks, he's almost shaking with anger because of the situation, but you can see him just trying to pull himself together.
Bill is going to look at him and say, "You are creating a danger by driving so quickly. I'm glad you are unhurt, but your damaged vehicle is recompense for your poor decisions."
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Yes, I saw you in the road, and I did try to swerve. I was trying to avoid the calamitous driving of these other 2 carriages, and I wanted to make sure nobody was hurt, especially people walking along the path, or even just to the side of the path as you 2 were. Please accept my sincerest apologies.
Maeve immediately doesn't trust this man.
So he's trying to get the muck off of his suit and says,
I'm sorry, I should have introduced myself. How gauche of me. My name is Todd Winston Sinclair, and I'm on my way to Shireford upon Emu, and I apologize for putting you out. And obviously you were going that way too. Is there any way you can help me?
Help
With
you do
what?
Well, as you can see, and he motions to the road, my cart is on its side, and its contents are easy pickings for thieves. I trust you 2 are good, not evil?
Good and evil are such defining words. I would like to call myself the Chaos. For what? We shall see. How do we know you are not the thief, since you were driving like, how do you say, the Griffin out of Hell's Casino?
Well, I've not been accused like that in some time. I'm not a thief. I have you know, I'm a respectable businessman. I'm party to the Greens, the performers that are quite famous. I'm actually engaged to one of them, and I there's no reason for me to steal. I just I'm a shrewd investor, and there's an investment opportunity I can't miss. I assume those other 2 carriages are on their way there as well. But I really must make it there as soon as possible. And his eyebrows are still kind of raised when you said chaos. He turns to Bill, hoping to get a more heroic response. It's like, so if you could please, help me at least turn the cart over and put the contents back in, I'll pay you. It's not, I'm not asking for charity. Would a thief pay you?
Bill's gonna walk over and try to turn over his cart. Should I use the cliche living statue?
Yeah, I think that would probably indicate that you are massive and big. So please roll that and tell me what you get.
I got a 3 on a D8.
3? Yeah, you almost cartoonishly, like, take one finger and just boop and pop it up. And it just writes itself a boom, and the contents that are remaining inside the cart kind of shift back and forth, and you hear the jingling of coins. And Todd is like, my word, that was outstanding. Yes, if you could help me replace the contents, I would be in your debt. But of course I would pay the debt immediately with these gold coins.
Bill
Can
says,
I do...
I am not a cleaning service. I stood this up for you. Perhaps the time you spend putting all of your belongings back will teach you to be more careful in the future.
More careful? Do you not realize I swerved to avoid hitting you?
Which wouldn't have been necessary.
I am grateful.
It would not have been necessary if you weren't driving like a griffin out of, I believe she said, Hell's Casino. I don't know exactly where that is, but I don't think it's a good place for you to go and drive very fast.
So I will address your claim. Yes, Hell's Casino I've been told to avoid, so I don't do any investments there. And griffins are fast. I was going fast, so yes, I do get the analogy. But please note that I'm not used to driving carts. I usually have a driver that does it, but has the day off. And I felt it important enough to try it myself, and if the courses were out of control, I would chalk that up to inexperience, that's all.
Then you should not be behind the wheel of the cart. Duh. And, Maeve would like to do... Okay, so if this was D&D, it'd be like an insight check, but I would like to use my cliche clue master because she so does not trust this man.
Okay, yes, roll. This will be another target check, since you're just kind of checking him out.
Yes, she's trying to figure out if he is who he says he is, or if he's just, like, lying through his teeth.
All right. Let me know what you roll.
Oh, come on, roll. Oh, I rolled a 1 on a D10.
All right. What he is telling you is all accurate. Like, you can tell that the pleading that he had as far as not being a thief and who he knows and the circumstance of not being experienced, like, all these things line up, but almost like, because you got a 1, it's almost like the individual statements are true, but something about the connection is off. Like, yeah, technically that's right, and technically that's right, and technically that's right, but something is off. It, like, with the glue that's putting it together.
Sir, again, if you are, let me roll this back a little bit. I assume that you are not used to doing the manual labor, yes? You usually hire someone for it?
Quite right, yes. But that's not to diminish manual labor. It's just I was a product of high society, and we were not instructed in such ways, that's all.
Excellent. So this will be such an amazing lesson for you to learn if you are going to take this foray, and you can clean up your own mess. And next time, hire a new driver if you are so hoity-toity as you are very obviously flashing. And we have a very, very nice woman who is counting on us to get her medicine. And she is, she kind of like looks him up and down, a better person than you, just to put it frankly. And you are not a very nice man, I suppose, is what I am picking up. So we will be on our way, and we have helped you, yes. And are there any, like, gems on the pile?
No, it's exclusively gold coins that are scattered, also gold coins in the cart. But if you were to estimate the total, having a 1 as a clue master, you can assess that it's about 15,000 gold coins, just between what's spilled and what's in the cart.
She, like, takes out a bag, and she just shoves a bunch in there and says, "That is our fee for lifting your cart, otherwise you would have been stuck here forever. And that is also our fee for our free life advice, which you should take because we do know what we are talking about. If you need our consulting services later, you know where to find us. We are headed to the same place. Bye-bye."
Oh, you see him, if nonplussed could just be embodied by a human being, it's this guy right now. He's just, nobody talks to him like this. And he is astonished that you are not helping him, even though he's offering you lots of money. That's just, it doesn't compute to him. And he goes, well, also, I meant to ask you this at the beginning of the game. Do you have your fire-breathing kittens tattoo somewhere visible on you?
Yes, mine is chiseled into my shoulder.
Okay.
I've had so many characters. Hold on, friends.
No worries.
Hers moves. So let's, we'll say, yeah, hers is probably just hanging out kind of on her collarbone. And she has like one of those piratey shirts that are like tube cut almost, but with sleeves. So it's visible.
All right. So he did not get your names because I don't think you volunteered them, but he does see the common tattoo on both of you. And so he says, "Fire-breathing kittens, huh? You haven't heard the last of me. I will do as you say. I can pick all these coins up with no issue at all. And you've made an enemy this day. I do thank you for helping with the overturned cart. That would have caused me a lot of problems trying to get that, and it's just a simple request, and I thought you were an adventuring guild, but I guess I was wrong. Good day."
Maeve spins on her heel. She's been good. She's been behaving, dear listeners. She has not pulled her weapon. She is pulling her weapon now. She grabs her sword out and like grabs him by his lapels, his fancy lapels that just bring her so much rage sometimes, as she holds her sword to his throat, and she gets in super close and he goes, "See, now that is what we call the threat. And I don't take kindly to be threatening. And, you know, I didn't tell you my name because you did not own me, but you have threatened my friends, my guild, my home. If you would like to be my enemy, that is fine. My name is Maeve Daraflame, but be ready to, I don't know, be burned, slashed. I do have, what do they call it?" And she's looking at Bill. The anger...
Anger management problems.
Yes, that. I have the anger management problems. And you, sir, seem to tick all of the little boxes that push all of the little buttons. So if you come after us in any way, be sure to know I will burn you and your family to the ground. And she lets him go and starts walking off.
Bill walks over to him and goes, "I'm sorry about that. She has a temper. It was not very heroic of her. I am sorry, but she kind of makes a point. It is not very heroic to threaten us for simply not helping you clean up your own mess. I flipped over your cart, and it seems very ungrateful of you to then threaten me." And Bill walks over and knocks his cart over again.
Oh. I demand you return that sack of coins, because you owe me recompense for knocking over my cart.
Bill goes, "He has a point. I did undo what I did. Perhaps we should give him back his money, otherwise it could be considered theft, and that is not very heroic."
This is our consultant fee. We have consulted for, and she looks at her wrist. There is no watch, but she looks. Let me see. Double time now? So it is double the fee. Be lucky I am not taking more, because most people do not get the pleasure of getting my consultancy. Bye-bye now.
Bill kind of shrugs and goes, "I tried."
Well, Thank you, giant statue man. I see that you're trying to at least be reasonable, unlike her. Maeve Deraflame. And you see him writing on a little flip notepad, writing down your name, flipping it over, putting it in his jacket pocket, and then in his other jacket pocket, he takes out a stone, presses it a few times and says, "Hello, Gertrude, I need your help." And then he starts walking away from you, talking into his stone, and he just leaves you be. He ignores you for the rest of whatever you decide to be doing.
Maeve's she's headed out. She's not scared of this man.
Bill follows her and says, I hope we didn't miss a plot hook that the GM now has to figure out.
Nothing you can do will derail the story because it will become the story. Don't worry.
So you
continue on then? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we
Okay.
continue on.
Okay, so going down the path, it's back to peaceful, water rippling on the river, breeze, flowers, etc. The occasional punctuated shout into the stone from Todd, but that fades as you walk. And so you approach the town, and as you approach Shireford upon Emu, you see a sprawling village. You're not quite there, but it's in the distance. You pass a couple of billboards while still a little bit out. The first one says, "Relaxation is just 3 miles away. Shireford upon Emu." And then on it, there's an attractive couple on inner tubes wearing large hats and drinking out of coconut cups with small paper umbrellas. Right behind that, like these are 1, 2, 3, just in a row. The second one says, "Outdoor advertising works," and then works is all capitalized. And then the third billboard says, "Are you an investor looking to make it big? Stop by Roofies today for all your investment needs. Guaranteed results or your money back." And so you see the billboards, you keep walking, or don't, I don't know. But that's what's around you.
Fable points out, or not Fable. Ooh. See? Too many characters, friends. Too many characters. Maeve. That's who I am today. Maeve. Maeve points out the like hat on the people and goes, and like kind of elbows Bill and goes, see, they might have cool hats here. I might be able to find a hat while we are finding the medicine.
2 for 1. I like it.
There may be hats in your future. I cannot guarantee it, but it's always a possibility. So as you chat about the functionality and style of hats, and then you finally make your way to the boundary of the town. And as you get there, you see just like a cornucopia of businesses, inns, and signs everywhere advertising products and services. You also see, somewhat out of place, is a bunch of leaflets like posted everywhere asking for charitable donations for just a number of different charities of various kinds. There's a large sign that says, "Welcome to Shireford upon Emu. Welcome enjoy your stay." It doesn't say "welcome your stay" because that would be silly. Anyway, there are a couple of highlighted things that you see, and I'm going to list locations you may choose to write down, but I can also repeat. So in the middle, there is a food cart area, Nancy's Party Pony Palace, a bar called the 13th Step, and an assortment of closed businesses that clearly were there, but they're shut down.
What do I know? Oh, sorry.
There's just a few more, sorry. On the left, you see a store called Silver Tree, a place called Rexcellent Remedies, and a giant building that says Roofies Offices, spelled RUFIES. And to the right, you see a branch of the Bank of Guaso and a place called Volmart, short for Valachenko Mart. And that's all the locations. Your question, sir.
What do I know about this city in general? Being 3 miles outside Nicomoy, I assume I've heard of it. Did it used to be a booming town that has recently fallen on hard luck?
You would probably know that there have been a couple of different adventures that FBK's done here. It's a commercial center, mostly like commercial and travel. So if you think of, I'm trying to think of if you were to take London and shrink it down, like it's a place that people visit, but it's also like a commercial sector type of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it's not very big. It's not Nicomoy size. It's kind of like this little gem on the river.
Okay. I think we should go to Rexcellent Remedies to at least finish our quest. And then what kind of store is Silvertree? Would they sell hats there?
It's not apparent immediately. Like from the distance that you're at, you can just kind of see there's a sign that says Silvertree pointing to the left. And you see it in the distance, but you don't know what it has.
Well,
shopping montage.
Yes.
All right, so you said Rexcellent Remedies first?
That's my vote.
Yes.
Okay. So you head that way, and it's next door to Silvertree also. So you can kind of see that it's almost like a discount store, like a lot of just a various amount of things you can see through the windows, and almost like a hodgepodge, like things that don't usually go together. But you get to Rexcellent Remedies, and it's a small building styled in a manner that's really warm and inviting. Are you going in, I assume?
Yes.
Okay. As you enter, you note the pleasant aroma of funnel cake. To your left, you see a counter with a glass top under which there are several ice cream flavors and treats. To the right is a seating area that feels like a 1950s soda fountain. And toward the back, you see a dwarf at the counter writing on a stack of small labels.
Bill walks over to him and says, "Hello, are you Duncan?"
Hey, yeah, whoa, well, you are huge. Yeah, Duncan Cones, nice to meet you. Hey, sorry, I'm trying to fill out these price tags. What can I help you with?
Miss Sinoja sent us. We are here for the Holden Bolden Goldie Moldies. 2 doses,
yeah.
please.
2 doses, okay. Yeah, old Sonoja, I hadn't seen her in a while. I was getting worried about her. I'm glad to know she's alive and kicking. Yeah, so 2 doses, you say? All right, let me ring you up. So I'm going to have to charge in advance because it takes a while to make, but it's like this delicate process. I hope you understand. Is that all right with you?
Maeve pulls out the gold that she just took from the investor. Goes, could we could we make it double? Could we make 4 doses so that way she doesn't have to travel out here? As you can see, I have plenty of gold to pay for it, and we could throw in a little extra for you as well. As she lays out, so the 4 for the stuff, and then she lays an extra 10 next to it.
So he kind of looks at the gold, and then he looks at you and says, "You're joking, right? This, you got, is that like a magic bag or something, or what, no, hold on. Let me ring up the medicine. You say 4 doses, huh? All right. So, I was not expecting this. Give me one moment.
Oh.
It's all right. I should not have made it such an odd number. All right. Okay, 4 doses comes out to 14,268,960 gold coins. If you could please pay in advance.
Interesting. She said it would only be 1 gold coin apiece.
Used to be. I mean, yeah, it was like forever. Until, I don't know, like a month ago. And then this town has been suffering in a way, but also been blessed in a way. I'm not sure how to take it. So everything is more expensive. Everything. So I'm not sure what you're going to do with that 10 gold coins. You might as well decorate your outfit with or whatever. But you're going to need a lot more. I mean, just to clarify, each dose is 3,567,240 gold today. And that could change. In fact, every Sunday I got to redo these price tags. I'm just trying to get ahead of it today.
Out of curiosity, do these prices change because of investors?
I guess normal customers come in, they buy my whole stock, and they're throwing money around like like they just, I don't know. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. I've been in this town for like 2 years, and it's been pretty steady, and then all of a sudden it's not, all right? So everything you see, I gotta adjust the prices so it's not like chaos in here, you know? I still get an occasional customer. They still pay whatever the price is, but I don't know if it's investors so much. Maybe. But they're all dressed different. You know, I expect an investor to be like, oh, fancy dressed or whatever, but sometimes it's just like cargo shorts and a t-shirt. But who knows? Maybe they could be super rich.
Do these people come from roofies?
I don't know. Roofies just kind of sprouted up about 3 months ago, something like that. They get a lot of traffic over there. It's kind of weird. A lot of out-of-towners mostly. In fact, I tried with all this money I'm getting from my like ice cream. You wouldn't think ice cream would make you like a multi-millionaire, but for me, it does. And so I was going to go invest with them. And they said no. They told me like, we only take out-of-towners, or you got to have had wealth for some time, like no new money, welcome here. It's too bad, because I got gold coming out the yin-yang, and I could really do with some more. The prices here are outrageous. The ingredients alone for this HBGM, it's crazy.
Where do you buy these ingredients?
Local vendors. I mean, sometimes I go to Meaty Maria. She's down at the Flesh Peddler, and you got to get live grubs. I mean, they're really fat and gross, but it's the only thing that does the trick, you know?
So if I could secure these in a cheaper way, we could perhaps strike a deal?
I suppose, yeah, but like it's like a 17-ingredient thing. You could do it, but it will take a while. And some of it is mail order. Like it's crazy. Some of it I gotta send away for. It takes a little while. I have some of it in stock, some of it I don't. But it's gotta be put together like at the time of order. Shelf life isn't great. So usually when you say 4 doses, that was a little surprising also, because like at least 2 of those are gonna go bad before you can use them.
I did not know how the medicine worked. I just have adopted this old woman as a new grandmother against her. Well, not against her will. I haven't told her this, but I would probably die for that woman. She said like 4 words, but I must protect her at all costs. So I was just trying to make it so she wouldn't have to travel again. But so 2 doses would make sense. We could just go get I mean, of course, I am going to go see what hoity-toity BS business is happening. But to run up all the prices in town, because that is ridiculous. But I would also happily go and fetch the ingredients, so that way it would be cheaper for you.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm always looking for new suppliers. If you could get me the same stuff at a lower price, you know, hey, that's a win-win as far as I'm concerned.
Do you accept insurance?
I don't follow. Like,
I have Bill's blue shield. And he holds up a blue shield.
I guess for some, we used to, but then we found out we weren't getting enough money on the back end from the company. Like, it's kind of whenever you put a middleman in the middle of the customer and the drugs, you end up with some monkey business. And so I just like to sell direct, and I like to deal with cash. Sorry. That is a good-looking shield, though. I mean, no joke.
Bill gets right down in his face and goes, I understand supply and demand. I would just like to say withholding an old woman's medication for your extravagant prices is not very heroic, and I don't approve of it. Maeve, perhaps we should leave.
I mean, look, I could go into serious debt trying to make this medicine, and then I would be out of business. And then where's Sonoja gonna be, huh? She's not gonna be able to buy it anymore because I won't be able to sustain my own livelihood. I'll tell you what, if you want to fix all the prices around here so they're not all crazy, I can work with you. Heck, I'd even do it for free if you could figure out what's going on.
Bill, not understanding exactly what he's saying, walks over and starts crossing out things on price tags and writing more reasonable prices.
Hey, no. Hey, step away. I don't know where you got a marker, but you need to back away from them price tags. You're gonna put me out of business. What I'm saying is, I could change the price to whatever I want as the business owner. That's fine. But if I'm not making enough money to get the supply for the new stuff, there's no business. So what I would like you to do, and he notes your fire-breathing kittens tattoos. You fire-breathing kittens, you're adventurers, okay? Figure out why all the prices are so high in this dang town, and then I will give you 2 doses of medicine for free.
That sounds like a deal.
I agree. That sounds fair. I think we should start at this roofie gentleman's place because rich a-holes tend to drive up prices.
All right. Hey, yeah, I mean, technically I'm rich right now, so I'm not sure how to take your statement. I generally agree, though.
He looks right at him. He looks right at him and goes, I said what I said.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, once you figure it out, maybe I won't be so rich, and that'll be okay. Not really an a-hole at all, though. I mean, I just want to make that clear. I'm just trying to help this old lady and trying to help the town and trying to get you adventurers to buy in, you know.
I have one last question before we leave. And Maeve, her hand is like clenched around her sword. She's very upset, but she's trying to stay in control. Character growth. Vaguely. She goes, did you see 2 of these rich people flying up the path with carts of gold? I assume they went to the roofie's place?
Oh, yeah. Like every Saturday, they got some meeting or whatever, and I always hear carts coming by. Like, it's almost not like clockwork, but all day. They're coming in. Roofie's office is just down the way, and I don't know. They seem to come in Saturday, Sunday night they leave, or they stick around and buy everything. It's kind of ridiculous.
Okay, that is where we are headed. We shall be back. And Maeve tucks her 10 gold back in her 14. I can do math. 14 gold pieces back into her pockets and heads out the door.
All right. So you head out the door. You pass by the Silver Tree store, and then it's kind of almost like the roofie's office is on a larger plot of land, you would say, like a bigger footprint. Not that the building itself is large, but the area around it. And so you're walking down to the building, and you see it's just this incredibly opulent building that stands out against every other building in town. As you get closer, you see that there's glints of gold all over the building and giant crests with capital R's just pressed there. And so there's a glass, just full-length windows that take the first story in the front with one of those revolving doors, but also optional regular doors. And then you can see through the glass what looks like a gleaming floor. Are you going inside?
Maeve takes a deep breath, and like her hair goes from like a wild boof of flame to like a more slicked back curl of flame. And she kind of like shakes herself off as if she's getting into character, and she looks at Bill and says, so I would like to play this cool at first. And as she says cool, her like temperature kind of, she's not as crackly. However, as we all know, the self-control around rich kind of jerky people is not the greatest, so prepare for anything as per usual, if you are good with that plan, because I may or may not go on a rampage of sorts. If the necessity calls for it, then I will try not to.
Bill says sometimes rampages are heroic, and if the situation calls for it, I can get pretty crazy.
Excellent. We are on the same page. And she struts in through the spinning door.
Bill follows, trying to strut, but he's a little stiff.
All right. You make your way through the spinning door, which good on you because that helps reduce heating and cooling costs, just so you know. Anyway, you walk in, and as you walk in, the gleaming floor that you saw is actually tessellated with actual gold coins. Just real gold coins are all over this lobby floor, and it's humongous. Toward the end, you see a reception desk with a man, a human guy dressed in like almost like a Secret Service agent style suit and sunglasses because it's so bright, you see, so that's why he's got the sunglasses. And he's just at the reception desk. He sees you walk in and says, "May I help you?"
Yes. I heard there is investment opportunity, and I would like to invest.
Oh, he hears that you're there to invest, and he perks up a little bit and goes, "Oh, yes, that's what Roofies is all about. We're always looking for investors. Are you from out of town?"
Yes, of course I'm from out of town. In fact, I've been traveling on my big boat for a while and just got back to sea. From sea.
And so you see him taking a few notes and kind of, like really liking what he's hearing. And you, sir?
I was on her very big boat, too. It had to be very big because I am very heavy. Bill looks very uncomfortable with lying.
Yeah, we've all been there, pal. I got you. Don't worry, I got a diet that is phenomenal, and I can share that with you once you guys are accepted in. So do you have your ticket?
Well, no. I heard about this from a friend who we ran into on the road here, and he didn't say anything about a ticket. He is kind of, how do you say, oh yes, a massive jerk.
Yeah.
So I assumed that this was a prank, but surely, and she does another one of those one-overs, but this time not in a I'm going to murder you way, in a appraising way, and goes, surely a smart man like you could tell me how to get my hands on one of these tickets so that way we can laugh in the face of this jerk.
Certainly. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. So usually we send invites out to potential investors, and once they fill out the forms, we process them, and if they have the minimum required funds, we send them a ticket, and then they use the ticket to come in, and there's a seminar, at first, and then that's when the real fun happens, is after that. If you don't have the ticket, and if you heard it from somebody on the road, I'm guessing you don't have an invitation. And then he gestures to his left, your right, and says, again, always looking for investors. If you want to fill out these applications, we can get them processed in about a week or two.
Well, I mean, if I did get the invitation, it probably got sent to one of my many estates. Like I said, I've been on the sea for so long this year that I have not even checked my mail, because who has time to check their mail when they're as rich as I am? And she is lying through her teeth. She
All
is
right.
very much so just making this up.
Okay. So we're going to have a different type of challenge. This is not a target, not a battle, but it's one where that's a one-turn roll-off, effectively. And I'll have to come back to you as far as what that's called. But you're going to have to choose a cliche that is related to
Contest.
Yeah, this contest, thank you. Related to your lying. And I will roll a cliche related to trying to suss out a lie.
So she's going to be using the pirate code, which is a D12.
Okay.
You listeners, this is my first time using an online dice roller, and I keep clicking buttons I shouldn't.
We're all learning. It's fine.
Oh. So the dice gods, random generators, have blessed me with a 1.
Wow, a second one. This is amazing. So he got a 3. So he's skeptical, but he's gonna err on the side of I'd rather get a customer than insult you, because he knows that those that can be investors are rich, and the rich don't like to be questioned on if they are rich. So he's like, yeah, weird. We don't really mail stuff. It's mostly in-person couriers, but okay. Sorry, I gotta follow the rules. This is a new job for me. So if you could just fill this out, name, profession, maybe I could fast track the invitation or something.
Okay. Let me see. Is this paperwork?
Okay, he slides 2 decently sized stacks of paper to both of you.
Bill,
And Maeve is just like dying inside, but begins dutifully filling it out.
Bill looks at Maeve and says, I might have a better idea. Perhaps our acquaintance Thomas could be persuaded to give us his invitation.
Yes, that does seem like a faster way in. We will go see if we can find Thomas. However, I will be taking this with me so I can fill it out and get it back to you. I seem to find myself a little bored of this place.
So we're going to
Are
go
you
look.
communicating any of this to the receptionist?
No, we just leave.
Oh. Are you going to fill those out, or what's going on?
I'll have my
yeah.
people call your people.
Oh, okay. He nods understandably like, okay, yeah. We look forward to your business, sir and madam.
Yes, of course you do. And at the minute Maeve gets out the door and out of sight of the building, she just like does a full body, like it just nope. She hated every minute of that.
So he can see you flare out through the glass, and the reflection from the gold coins kind of takes him back like, whoa. So that may impact him, that may not. All right, what's your next step?
Backtrack and try to find Todd and either convince him to give us his invitation or take his invitation.
Okay, so you make your way back to kind of the more central area away from the campus of Roofies.
Mm-hmm.
And you pass Silvertree and Rexcellent Remedies, and then you're heading toward the center of town. You see the entrance, you see the shops in the middle, and then the bigger establishments on the right-hand side. Do you just want to wait at the entrance, or what would you prefer do?
I would say head down the road we know he's going to be coming down so we can get him before Bill has experience as a highwayman robbing people. And I'm not saying that it's going to come into play, because I don't really want to rob him because that doesn't seem heroic, but letting an old lady die because medicine is outside of her price range is also not heroic. So Bill is in a crisis of conscience right now.
Ooh, then I'm doing it right. Okay, so you start making your way down the road. You start walking, you pass the billboards. You see the area because the ground is still pretty disturbed from the violent crashing of the cart. And you see where the cart was, and you see where the impact of the coins was in the sand, but it's all gone. Like it's whatever Todd did, it was done fast. The cart is not there, the gold is not there.
We didn't pass him on the road walking back down.
You did not. So you missed him somehow, whether you were either at the pharmacy or at the roofie's office.
Well, my next plan is just to break in and see what's going on at Roofie's, because they're the new business in town, and it seems like they're the problem.
Excellent. That is actually exactly what I was going to propose once we were out of earshot, is a little bit sneaky recon.
I'm not the sneakiest. I am a big statue and therefore do not blend in well, and I tend to make a lot of noise.
So, as you're discussing on the road, you see another carriage coming up the same direction toward Shireford upon Emu. This one is not going fast. It's going at just a reasonable pace. The markings on it are very distinct. Like it's a very elegant and elvish carriage, and it's heading your way. And the passenger, the driver doesn't, but the passenger kind of leans out and sees you, and he asks the driver to stop. He goes, "Well, hey there, y'all wouldn't happen to be fire-breathing kittens, would you?"
Yes.
"Well, how about that? I guess I should have known y'all would be on the case. Well, hello, my name is Mateo Duca. You may know my daughter Sadie. She likes to hang around with y'all and go on adventures and whatnot. Do y'all need a ride anywhere?"
Not particularly. We were just taking a nice stroll through the woods. What case are you talking about?
"Well, I figured you would know about the calamitous explosion of currency in Shiford upon Emu. I'm there. I've been hired by Drago Valachenko to figure out what's going on. I mean, he got invited to some investor meeting, but he don't trust nobody that he hadn't been working with for a while. And luckily for me, being a Macritus elf and being as old as I am, I've known him since he was a hatchling. So we've been tight for a while, and he trusts my financial advice. So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on."
We are also trying to figure out what is going on.
"Y'all look pretty, what's a polite word for hefty? Very capable and muscular. So I could use a couple of folks like you if y'all are free. I mean, I don't know if y'all are going to Shiford upon Emu. I don't mean to disrupt your forest exploration."
We are actually. We have done some investigating into this. What is his name? It is Rufy's offices, and he. There is a whole, and she pulls out the paperwork. There is this whole application process, and to be honest, I hate the paperwork, so I kind of just skimmed it. I was trying to gently weave my way in undercover, and they said no, so we were going to do some investigating around the official channels, as it were. And so if you would like to assist us, and we could assist you, because we have a very old woman who needs some medicine, and right now the cost is gone from 1 gold in last month to 3.2 million gold, and that is ridiculous, and I am trying to keep from murdering shopkeepers.
"Well, I don't blame the shopkeep, and I understand why you would be hesitant to fill out paperwork. I mean, giving out personal details like that to somebody you barely know doesn't seem like a good idea. Thankfully, I am an expert at paperwork, and I can see through all the shenanigans. Yes, I think we could work together. You know, I think I have a solution for us, if you are open to it. I would like to go in to the seminar to find out firsthand what's going on, but I'm not very capable myself. I'm not a fighter. I don't know what dangers lie there. I can see through financial, I don't know. I think we could make a good team if you'd be willing. I need to talk to my employer to see if he'd be willing to give up his ticket, and then y'all don't have to fill out no paperwork."
That sounds like a good deal to me.
"All right, well, here's what we'll do. If y'all don't want to ride, that's fine, but meet me at the Walmart on the east side of town once you get in."
I mean, I suppose we could ride with you if we are going to the same place anyway.
That's fine with me.
Yes, I am not against getting the ride.
All right. He opens the door for you to come into the carriage and welcomes you inside. The carriage creaks under the weight of Bill, and the driver kind of looks tense, like alarmed, and he kind of looks back at Mateo like, is this okay? We're doing this? And it's like, driver, just go on, we'll be fine. And so the door closes, you make your way back into town, shouldn't take very long. Anything you want to discuss with Mateo prior to your arrival?
Who is your employer?
Oh, well, I've been contracted out to Drago Valachenko. He owns a chain store of Valachenko amounts. They're very large, have excellent prices, and just it's a win-win for the consumer. And he has been just gracious, but he doesn't trust. He wants to understand the strategy of Rufus, because maybe he wants to duplicate it himself, but he wants to make sure that there's no, like I said, shenanigans.
Well, my only question for you is, well, not really a question. I just, we walked in and I posed as a rich investor and said that I came off my really big boat. Really, truly, honestly, I was just kind of pretending to be a pirate queen because that is, yeah, kind of, she kind of gestures to herself. She's like, it kind of fits the vibe. So do you want us to go in as your muscle, or do you want us to just go in as the investor?
Well, I honestly, how studied are you at financial transactions and investigating mysteries, we'll say?
Not very.
I am very good at investigating mysteries. I am also very good at beating people up. The financial stuff is, pirate.
That may be exactly what we need. I never thought I'd be so grateful to meet a pirate. Here's what we'll do. I'll convince Drago to give you the ticket, and y'all go in and just take notes. And I think from the information you gather, we can figure out what's going on.
This sounds like a plan.
Agree.
All right. So the cart makes its way into town, turns to the right, makes its way to a really imposing-looking building. It's like a 2-story. It almost looks like just a giant warehouse, but it's very plain-looking. But it says Valachenko Mart real big in white letters on a blue backdrop, and you'll see that it says closed on the door as you get closer. But there's a small, like a portable building outside, and it says office there. The cart pulls up to the office. Mateo gets out and gestures for you to step down as well.
I follow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let me introduce you. I mean, he's friendly as could be, but I think if we propose the plan to him, he'll be willing to hear. So he opens the door. He walks in. You see a very imposing, like 6'5" red dragonborn in a business suit at a desk, just kind of filling out a ledger. And he looks up and says, Mateo, it is so good to see you. Who are these guests you have brought with you?
Hello, my name's Bill the Statueman.
And I am Maeve.
He stands up to shake your hands and says, it is a pleasure to meet you. I am Drago Valachenko. Please, I should probably get more chairs from the store. Would you like anything to drink or something to make you comfortable?
I am good. We have business, I assume, to discuss. I am actually also good without the chair. I can just, and she just like crisscrosses on the floor.
Yes. What business do you have to discuss then?
She just kind of gestures over, like, take it away, my guy. I gave you the lead up.
All right. Yeah, sorry. I was, just thinking about the issue at hand. So, Drago, I met these two there, with the Fire-Breathing Kittens and Adventuring Guild down in Nicomoor. They have a reputation that is net positive, I would say. And, I think they're exactly the muscle we need. That is, what's a good word for expendable? They are not as risk averse as the two of us. So, what I'm proposing is that we take your invitation from the Roofies organization, we give it to them, they pose as your representatives, and they go in and find out what's going on. How does that strike you, Drago? Well, I must admit, I do not trust this organization, and I would feel terrible if anything happened to these two. But admittedly, I would like to find out what is going on. I refuse to raise my prices, but as a result, I have to close this store of mine. I would like to reopen and serve the community. If you could go in, that would be very helpful. Are you willing to do so?
Yes.
Yes, we are, because we have an elderly woman who very much so needs some medicine, and we cannot get it without the prices lowering, and it is a bit ridiculous, no?
He nods gravely, and you see a look of pity come across his face, and as he does so, he bends down and opens a drawer in his desk, takes out the invitation in a golden envelope, and hands it to you, Maeve.
Maeve takes it, and is the golden envelope literally made of gold?
It is literally made of gold.
She just kind of, like, it's something gross. And this is a woman who has, like, killed people before, and she's just like, ew.
Murder's
Well,
okay. Opulent displays of wealth. That's where I draw the line.
I find that so funny, given that your aim is to be a pirate queen, theoretically loaded to the gills with gold. That's fine.
She doesn't have to see the gold. She'd have people to manage the gold.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
So she could not have to.
Oh, that's why you bury it, so you don't see it.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Is Maeve secretly a dragon? The world may never know.
So, you now have an invitation. You have the blessing from Drago and Mateo. And I think this might be a good place to break. So, listener, thank you for joining us for part 1 of this adventure. Joining us today were Maeve.
Watch us bring down the bourgeoisies.
And Bill.
I'm not sure where heroic lies in this, but I'm sure we'll find it in part 2.
Bye, everybody.
Bonne nuit.
Today's mid-episode shoutout is, quote, "If he hears this, I want to say thanks to my high school theater teacher, Mr. Raj. I don't think you ever knew I became a teacher because of you. Your guidance and passion for education shaped my life. I hope you know you are truly appreciated." End quote. You can arrange for us to read your shout-out at firebreathingkittenspodcast.com. We have paperback, hardcover, and ebooks on Amazon and Audible. Is there an episode of Fire Breathing Kittens that would make someone you know smile? Tell them about it. They won't hear about it any other way.
Welcome back. So, we are in the middle of a town called Shireford upon Emu with our 2 heroes, Maeve and Bill, and they just borrowed an invitation, with permission, to go to a seminar at Roofies. Not the Roofies you're thinking of. Unless you listen to the first part of the episode, then it is the Roofies you're thinking of. Okay, so, take it away, players.
So, shall we just go in and, pretend to be rich people?
Yes, we could just spin this as my people talk to your people and our people talk to some other people's people, and now we have an invitation.
All right, that sounds good to me. Let's go.
So we head back to the offices and through the spinning door.
All right, you make it through the spinning door. Does Bill go through the spinning door with his giant, massive body?
I mean, if he fits,
He does. It's a massive spinning door.
then yes.
Okay. It was almost made especially for you. But yeah, there are investors of all shapes and sizes, so they have to accommodate. Anywho, you're in. The attendant looks up again, sunglasses, recognizes you, and says, "Oh, did you get those applications filled out?"
We did one better. Turns out our people talk to each other first, and then they talk to someone else's people. And, all the talking happened, and now I have this. And she's waving the invitation.
Oh. He says, "May I?" And he reaches his hand out to take the invitation.
Are you supposed to be looking at the invitations, or are we supposed to, turn it in for some kind of door prize?
Well, it's pretty clear on the invitation what it's for, but one of the things I'm supposed to do is be the gatekeeper. So I need to check to see if your invitation is a real one, frankly. So if you'll allow me to examine it, it won't be but just a moment. You should have nothing to worry about, given that this is a real invitation, right?
Yes.
She lets out the most dramatic gasp and slaps it down and turns to Bill and goes, "This man thinks I am a liar. This man does not believe that I am who I say I am. I am insulted, and I shall be talking to your manager as soon as you approve our little invitation. I understand that you have a job to do, but I thought you were in the business of not pissing off your customers."
Yes, ma'am. And you can tell he's forcibly trying to bottle up how he wants to react, knowing that he's had several incidents where his manager has had to talk to him about how he addresses customers and potential customers. So he takes the invitation, says, "Thank you very much for your patience and your courtesy. I apologize for being reckless and offensive." And so he looks at it, he puts it under a purplish light, kind of holds it up to the lights on the ceiling. I'm not sure why I'm having trouble coming up with the lights on the ceiling phrase. Holds it up, tastes the end. Yeah, seems good. Puts it back in the envelope, hands it back to you. Says, just make your way through the door on the left. The seminar will start in about 45 minutes. It's a good thing you came when you did. There are complimentary snacks throughout, so feel free to grab something before you have a seat for the seminar.
Thank you.
And again, my apologies. Welcome to the Roofies family. We hope you choose to invest with us.
Thank you.
Maeve.
All right.
Maeve leans on the counter and goes, "I am very impressed with your customer service skills. Perhaps we could hire you for another job and get you out of this place, because it does seem like your eyes are being damaged by the shininess. My people will be in touch."
So as you lean on the counter, he can't help but see the fire-breathing kitten's tattoo by your collarbone. And you see him, you may not be aware that he sees it because of the sunglasses, but you see him kind of stiffen. And he's like, "Yes, I would like that very much. Please, allow me to escort you." And so he leads the way and opens the door for you. He bows graciously, but his eyes are now on you specifically, Maeve, and then he's just kind of eyeing Bill. Again, with the sunglasses, it's a little hard to see, but metagaming, this is what he's observing.
Thank you. This is such good, excellent service. I would like to speak with your manager for the opposite reason now.
Oh. Well, he'll be out in a second. He's the top dog, and he'll be running the seminar in about 45 minutes or so. So, you can mingle. There are some other investors here. If you just want to sit at the bar, get some drinks, everything's free. No worries.
Bill walks into the room and looks around and sees if he recognizes anyone in there.
I want you to roll... No, I guess... Yeah, we haven't rolled in a while. So, roll a d20.
Okay.
Could I also do the same?
Well, yes, but you'll roll a d16 because of your awareness that you had earlier.
Yes. Okay.
How does an 11 strike you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. That's, between ambitious and average, so I think it would be like a casual... You would definitely not be distracted, and you would at least identify people that you were either close to or memorable.
Mm-hmm.
So fun fact, the online dice rollers have a sense of humor. I also rolled an 11.
Okay. I was going to say, did you roll another one? Oh, you rolled 2 of them. So same thing. You recognize some people, and I'll say you probably recognize some of the bigger players that are in Nicomoy. Like there are some captains of industry or up-and-coming people that you don't know their names, but you recognize their faces. And so you see a lot of those faces. The exception is you do see Todd from the road interaction earlier.
Does Todd see us?
It looks like he's in a small circle of about 5 people holding a martini glass and laughing at something. So no, it does not seem that he is aware of your presence.
Cool. So she's going to go to a circle on the opposite side of the room where she can put her back to Todd. And she's just going to grab a random drink from whatever waiter is passing.
All right.
And Bill's going to try to follow suit, but again, he's a 7-foot-tall living statue. He's not terribly inconspicuous.
Yeah, you do see heads turn when the two of you come in because it's, elves and humans, but the two of you are unique in a way, Fire Genasi and Living Statue. So they kind of look and go, oh, okay, like money's money, no big deal. But you do get the initial look and then back to whatever conversation they were having.
Also, the fact that Maeve is very much so armed.
That's right. That it's not unusual. There are lots of, this is a collection of people that have money, and so they either are armed themselves or you can see very clearly some of them have an entourage that are armed. And so you've turned your back on Todd, and the drink that you got is a Gishope. That's the name of it's a mixed cocktail. And
cool.
Bill... Oh, go ahead.
Does it have any weird ingredients in it?
It does have gold powder on the rim of the glass, which is unusual. It usually doesn't.
So gold. Can we say that the gold makes her hair sparkle?
Yeah, because I know you were a consumer of metals.
Yes, I don't know how gold burns off the top of my head.
Considering that it's pulverized, I'm sure there would be some sparks involved.
It's yellow, so good. Yes, it could just be sparky.
Ooh. Well, that you draw the attention of many people who are they're impressed. It's like, wow, that looks very nice. She's
just kind of thank you. This is it's a fun little experiment sometimes. And just whoever is in front of her. She goes, so me and my compatriot are here for the seminar like all of you, but what made you decide to come?
I couldn't help but hear that I have family members that were invited, and they have made loads of money. And I thought, hey, I'm rich, but I'm not super rich, and I would like to be. And so they told me about the seminar. I filled out the application. I brought my card of gold and pulled it around back, and they say by tomorrow my investment should have increased by lots. And so I'm very excited. What brought you to this place? I'm guessing the same. We're all here to be rich, right?
Well, yes, of course. And also just plain curiosity. I like to fancy myself somewhat of a world traveler, and have just gotten back, and my people said, oh, you need to be seen in the community. And so this is me being seen in the community.
Well, you are in the right place, honey. There's so many people here that are so rich, and we're all about to be a lot richer. I can't wait to hear Rictavio.
Who?
Rictavio? He's the
right.
R in Roofies. You did read the invitation, right?
I can't read.
Oh, I guess... Yeah, well, I guess if you're rich enough, it doesn't really matter. You can get people to read for you.
Bill then pulls out the envelope and reads it quickly as...
So it basically gives you a date, which is today. It tells you about the minimum investment that you need, and it's 200,000 gold. It tells you that Roofies stands for Rictavio's Ultimate Finance, Investments, and Estate Services, and it's signed at the bottom by the CEO, Rictavio Brittlecorn.
Bill leans over to Maeve and says, if the minimum is 200,000 gold, why did Todd only have 15,000 in his cart?
That is a good point. I do believe that Todd is, how do you say?
An idiot.
A liar? That too. An idiot is a better choice there, but also I do believe, and she kind of, there might be some shenanigans happening. So this investment, it'll be interesting to see what this opportunity is, because I may be, as she turns back to the woman she was talking to, I may be rich, and as people occasionally like to think that rich people are stupid, but I tend to be a little smarter than my money looks.
I get that all the time. Well, I think it's time. You see the house lights kind of dim and then brighten and dim and brighten, and so I think it's time to get our seats. Do you want to sit next to me?
I would love to sit next to you as long as there is a seat for my friend.
She looks up at Bill. It's like, maybe 2 seats. Yes. Let's sit down in front. I always like to make an impression, you know?
Yes, that does seem like the greatest plan. Let us go.
All right. So you head down into the theater portion of this large room. It's got like stadium seating, but not quite. Kind of elevated chairs, like a small amphitheater. And so you sit down. There's a big red velvet curtain, and the lights dim, and clearly a fog machine has started because you see fog rolling from under the curtain. You see lights kind of rotating around that are picked up by the fog, and so it starts to build this sense of excitement, and some music starts swelling, and it's meant to really make everyone excited, and there's a tittering all around you, like, oh man, they're so excited to see Rictavio. And so you hear an amplified voice say, "Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, CEO of Roofies, Rictavio Brittlecorn!" And so you just hear thunderous applause all around you, and the curtains just open very swiftly, and in the middle, you see a red Aasimar, and he's dressed in a very deep purple suit, and he's got black hair slicked back, and he extends his arms wide, very excited to receive all the applause. And he's just kind of walking forward, and he's got one of those tiny microphones on his ear like you see in a TED Talk or something like that. "Hey, thank you. I'm so happy to be here, everyone. I cannot tell you how excited I am to have you here sitting in my office building. And what a building it is, am I right?" Applause. More applause. "Now, I know why you're here. To get rich, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed investors and aspiring lords of industry, welcome to Roofies. Make a fortune or pretend you never lost one financial services seminar. I am your host, CEO Rictavio Brittlecorn, and I'm here to tell you that money does grow on trees, but only if you plant the right seeds in my golden garden. Now let's talk about our revolutionary investment strategy, the double or nothing approach. Our rigorous investment specialists will find the places where we can double our money. And if we can't, we don't charge you nothing. And we give you your money back. No harm, no foul. It's foolproof. And let's not forget about our exclusive network you become a part of. Use your fabulous new wealth to rub shoulders with other brilliant investors whom we have helped as well. You can take on the world, and we will be your safety net. Remember, there is no safer financial position that is good as good old gold. Risk is just a 4-letter word, y'all, and loss is what happens to other people. So invest with us, and you'll be buying an island in no time. Thank you for attending, and remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it's probably the next roofie's investment opportunity. Thank you very much. And it's brief. He walks off stage, but like down to meet people and talk to people. Thunderous applause. Everybody's standing and applauding him and very excited. What do you do?
Maeve would like to go to the outskirts of the people that are surrounding him so she can listen to whatever he is telling them, because she has questions. She has a lot of questions.
Bill had been taking notes, so he's continuing to take notes on this because he was told to.
Excellent. So what Maeve hears and Bill writes down is basically a combination of conversations that he has with other people. And you notice that people are really curious about what are they investing in? How are they getting such good returns? What kind of returns are they getting? And you hear kind of vague answers, and but the couple of things that catch your ears are, one, Rictavio came to town about 3 months ago and started roofies, and he didn't have a lot of investors, but then he was at a temple in a town nearby, Brindlestoke, and that's when he got the idea for roofies. He also only accepts gold, no other investment vehicles, and the returns are roughly 70% returns. So if you invest $100,000, you get $170,000, or I guess you earn $70,000, so you have a total of $170,000. And so those are the main points that you hear. Now, you do note that there are some doors flanking the curtain area that go backstage. You see kind of some, out of the corner of your eye, something's happening back there. There's activity. And then there's just a big crowd of people waiting to ask Rictavio questions. So you have options. You can ask him a question. You can explore. You can just kind of hang back. It's up to you.
Bill is going to ask Maeve, have you ever heard of someone named Charles Ponzi?
I have not.
He created a scheme where people invest their money and he just keeps it. And when you try to draw out your money, you give them someone else's money. And you don't actually invest anything.
This may be the shenanigans. If you would like to stay and observe, my friend, because you are very strong but not very sneaky, I would like to go do some fancy recon, and I will give you the signal if I need your help, and you can continue to take notes and see if this man is related to this Mr. Ponzi.
What is the signal? If you yell, help, Bill, help, I will know to come help.
That is actually exactly the signal.
Got it.
That's perfect.
Either that or we need to leave now.
Got it. And Bill continues to mingle and take notes.
Okay. So let's start with Maeve. You're splitting your party of two. What kind of recon? Which direction are you going?
She is headed backstage, not necessarily to the doors. She's just gonna, if the stage is like an actual stage, she's gonna try to get into the wings where she can't be seen and go through any door that's back there.
Okay.
If it's possible. If that's not how the stage is set up, she has another plan.
That is how it's set up. There are wings, and it kind of curls back behind the stage, and you see doors that lead to, there is one door, it says, to the warehouse, or just warehouse. It doesn't say to the. Those extra letters cost money, y'all. Warehouse. And so that is an option, but as you continue around, you just end up on the other wing.
It does. Is there a dressing room back there with the CEO's name on it?
There isn't on that hallway, but you imagine the hallway that goes to the warehouse has that, because it's not an immediate warehouse just on the other side of the door. You can kind of see through the little window that it's a long hallway and that there's a further door at the end.
She's just gonna sneak on through.
All right.
and see if she can find either his office or she's just in full recon mode.
Okay, I would like you to roll something to do with being sneaky, because there's a hive of activity around here, and there is a chance you would get caught. But I want to use a target roll to see if you would. So give me a cliche that's relevant, and then roll it.
So I would either like to use either the pirate code or Clue Master, because pirates are known for stealing things, and she is for sure is gonna go steal information at minimum. Or Clue Master, because she's hunting.
Okay. Let's do the pirate code one, because you're bold. I think the boldness alone, it's not like you're not even sneaking. You're just walking around confidently like you're supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. That's how I envision it. And so roll that and see if you pass.
That is exactly what she is doing. She's like, oh, I'm just supposed to be here. What do you mean? 5.
Oh, yes. You pass with flying colors. So you do see people kind of going out and about with, they're holding documents, and they look at you and they clearly like, oh yeah, of course she's supposed to be here. As you walk down the hallway, you do see dressing rooms on the left, and you do see restrooms on the right, and then at the end is the warehouse.
Okay, she's gonna dig through the dressing room first.
Okay. You see the dressing room of the CEO, I imagine?
Yes.
Okay, it's the one with the big star. Okay. You're going to go in, and before we reveal what you're finding, I'm going to go back to Bill. Bill, you're in a crowd of people. You're taking notes, and so you're trying to pick up more clues as to what the investments are, but you're getting a lot of vague information. One thing that you do note is the receptionist that escorted you in starts closing in on you, and he says, "Hey, big guy, where's your friend?"
I don't know who you're talking about.
You can see him getting very flustered. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You two walked in with a ticket moments ago. Yes, it was a real ticket, but I'm on to you. And he taps you on your fire-breathing kittens engraving. It's like, I've dealt with you before, fire-breathing kitten. Not you specifically, but your group.
Bill is going to pull himself up in the manner of a rich person. Like, how dare you touch me, you peon? How dare you even speak to me in these tones? He turns, who's the owner? What's his name again?
Rictavio Brittlecorn.
Rictavio, he turns to him and goes, "Mr. Brittlecorn, are you aware that your underlings are threatening and trying to intimidate your potential investors? If this is the sort of operation you're running, I don't think me or my investors will be interested in investing with you."
So your voice booms over everybody else. The crowd just falls to a hush. Everyone's looking at you. Rictavio, you get his attention, and he turns, and he looks a little like there's an element of fear in his eyes for just a second, but he recovers very quickly, and he gives you a smile, and it's like, Sir, I deeply apologize for my associate and his behavior. Walter, haven't we had plenty of discussions together about not touching the investors or potential investors like this strong gentleman right here? And you see Walter kind of in the crosshairs of Rictavio freeze, like he's scared. He doesn't know what to do. And it's like, look, you are an important part of this family, Walter. Please keep your hands off the investors unless, they start stealing or something. We want to, and he announces to everybody, we want to protect the investments of everyone here. Nobody is above the law. Nobody's going to steal your stuff. Just your investments are safe. Walter, please apologize to this man. And you can see a bead of sweat trickling on Walter's forehead. He looks at you. He takes his sunglasses off. He looks you in the eye and says, I'm sorry. And then he kind of looks away.
All is forgiven.
You see a weight, kind of a metaphorical weight, just leave his shoulders. He's like, oh, thank you. And he turns around and kind of stands at his post toward the exit and tries to collect himself. Rictavio walks over to you, Bill, and say, excuse me, sir. I apologize again. What is your name?
Bill.
He's talking to you. Okay. Bill. You know what? That's a strong name. I like it. I used to have a lot of bills, but now I just have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm so glad you chose to invest with us. Let me personally assure you that your investments are safe. Can I escort you to your cart of gold to make sure everything's on the up and up? We don't want nothing happening to you or anything like that. Would that make you happy?
I would rather just sit here and drink.
Ha! No, yeah, I totally understand. Okay, yeah. Believe me, our investment professionals are at work right now in the warehouse to make sure your investments get taken care of. Please, all the drinks you want for free. If you have any questions, any concerns, you come straight to me, okay?
I will. Thank you.
Oh, no. Thank you. And welcome to the Roofies family. All right, we're going to switch focus back to Maeve. Maeve, you are in the dressing room. It is like everything in this building has been opulent and gaudy, but this room is not. It's very simple. There's a lot of cabinets, like it's kind of an office/dressing room. And so you see a lot of papers on the desk. You see pictures on the wall that all have Rictavio in them, but like with different teams, different organizations, like his past. These are clearly memories that he has. And so you are in the dressing room/office.
She is looking for, like, any master planning sheets, any, like, not to, like, hoo-hoo, evil villain, lay out your plan, but also, like, anything that relates to Ponzi now that it's been mentioned by Bill. And just, like, the quickest of sweeps, because she would like to get to the warehouse at some point, but she's like, I'm just going to do a quick swing around, see if there's anything interesting I can grab and shove in my bag.
Okay, so you do see a lot of papers. They all are just basically customer information that you see. Like it's a whole host of who he's trying to attract. It's all mostly people from Jishop and Nikamoy, some from Gardilu, but bigger cities, very rich people that you've heard of before. There is a locked cabinet in the desk on the bottom left-hand side that draws your attention because as a pirate, it's like a locked chest of sorts, and you know something valuable's in there.
She is going to try to pick it.
All right.
I think this is pirate code again.
This has served you well.
It has served me well so far.
Pirates can do a lot of stuff.
It is a 5. Again.
Man, you guys are rolling so low. It's to your benefit. Yes, you're able to easily, like this is a lock you trained on when you first started picking locks, exact model, and so you know this one back and forth. Bing, bang, boom, open. You open the drawer, and what you see is like it's a photo of a very suspicious character in like a legendary evil wizard that lives in the Fomai Dunes that you've heard of, like legend of, and it's like him and Rictavio. You see one single golden coin, but like in a very nice sealed case. And then you also find information about bells. So it's just almost like a diagram, a spec sheet almost, but in a magic, instead of like an engineering specification, like a magical one about these bells.
She just scoops it all up and shoves it in her bag and heads towards the warehouse.
All right. You head toward the warehouse. You're at the warehouse door, and before you go in, I'm going to switch back to Bill. Bill, you have a a lot of esteem in this room. A lot of people are looking at you with, because you presented the right amount of haughtiness. They're like, oh yeah, he's one of us for sure. And people are now a lot more, they want to get to know you more. And so you kind of have your pick of anybody in the room of who you want to talk to about whatever you want to talk about.
I think I'd want to talk to Mr. Brittlecorn and try to find out more about how he chooses his investments.
Okay. So you approach him. He's like, oh, Bill, I see we meet again. Do you have a question for me?
Yes, I have been an investor for many years, and I have never seen a return as high as the one you are promising. How do you choose your investments?
Well, that's the roofie's difference, isn't it? I mean, I've been a part of a lot of organizations that have promised a lot of things, and believe me, like you, I've been disappointed many times. But when you find the right formula, everything makes sense. And let me just say, there's an old friend who did me a favor, and I'm just now making it my mission to try to spread that kind of love. You know what I mean?
Yes. What sort of favor did your friend do for you?
So this is going to be a challenge because if you want to get the information I think you're aiming for, he's going to be guarded about it. But what we'll do is have a challenge roll to see if he trusts you.
Could I use likable?
Yes, that is exactly a very good, that's a very good cliche to use in this case.
Well, I got a 6 on a 12-sided die, so the least interesting number, straight there in the middle.
Hold on a second. Oh, he got a 5 on a D8. So his cliche was, and this may give away too much about him, cold as ice and twice as slippery.
Ooh.
So, it's like, look, you seem like a nice guy. I like you. But it doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean I need to share the secret to investments, because who's to say that a gentleman like yourself wouldn't open a competing business? You know what I mean?
Well,
I gotta look out for me and my family.
I just have to know that this is on the up and up, because I am an upstanding citizen and I will not be involved in anything nefarious. The reason I'm saying that is maybe I can try again, but this time with my aspiring hero cliche.
Okay, yeah.
That's a D8. How does a 3 strike you?
It beats his 4. So he is like, okay, look, I will let you in on this. I'm not usually letting folks in on the secret sauce of this operation, but I got a feeling that you're all right. And when you are upstanding, and he looks up at you because you're so tall, it's like, you're definitely upstanding. So as it turns out, I used to work for an organization where we had a lot of old secrets in our archives, right? We only could translate one of them, made some cookies that were to die for. But that all got busted up by an organization called the Fire-Breathing Kittens, but whatever. Since then, I've been holding this pack of secrets that nobody can read until I come across a guy in the Fomai Dunes who seems exceptionally interested in them, and he gives me a gold coin in a fancy little box. And I think, what's this for? 1 gold for all this information? And he's like, no, this gold coin could double my money. He said it was very appealing, and I didn't understand what he meant until I was down in Brindlestoke about 3 months ago with this coin in my pocket. And it was around the Harvest Festival. Every year they have this Harvest Festival, right? And they ring 2 bells. It's a bell to some god they got, I don't know, Moradin, something. Anyway, but the important thing is the bells, right? They ring 1 bell. The gold coin in my pocket turns into 2 coins. How about that? They ring the second bell. It goes back down to 1 coin. Ridiculous, right? So I contact a few folks. I'm able to acquire that first bell. And that is the secret, sir, to my success. And then I understand appealing. Bell has appeal. That's what it calls when it don't. Anyway, long story short, that's it. But I keep it under wraps, you know?
Well, you have my ringing endorsement.
Yeah, I like the way you think. And he kind of, he pretends to punch you in the stomach, you know, like, hey. But he doesn't really, because he knows he would cripple his hands on your stone abs. Your rock hard abs. So he's like, look, trust me, we're going to have more gold than we know what to do with, okay? But you want to get in while the getting's good.
Got you. Well, sometimes when people tell me these things, I have to yell, Bill, help, as if it is some sort of signal to someone, but it is not. It's just me getting excited.
You got a really weird way of, yeah, okay. Hey, maybe lay off those drinks. Just for a little bit, you know? I know you're big, but you can consider slowing down, you know? Hey, I'll catch you later. Look. And he winks at you and says, it's between us, all right?
He gives him a wink and a thumbs up.
All right.
Oh, no.
So, what do you do as he walks away?
Bill is hoping that Maeve heard the signal they agreed on. He didn't think he was going to be the one giving it. But Bill knows what's happening now, and if we can just find a church, I think I can solve all of this.
All right, we're going to focus attention back to Maeve. Maeve, you were at the warehouse door. There is a window on the door, just like you would see in a government building or public classroom or whatever. You can see through, and in the warehouse, you see it's like the back of a big box store where it has the ramps for the trucks to go in. You see just cart after cart after cart with gold in it. And that's on the left side. And as you look to the right, you see a big bell coming out on the right and a bunch of people doing activities. Mostly they're emptying the carts and putting them into emptying all the separate carts and putting it into one main cart and moving it out of the room. That's what you see right now.
Okay. Do I hear the Bill help?
Why don't you roll for awareness? Because it's kind of loud in that room, and you're behind you're a distance away. But he does have a very penetrating voice.
Is it a D20 or a D16?
I guess the same one you rolled for awareness at the beginning, or something similar to that. Okay. Or if you have anything else that is like exceptional hearing or whatever.
We could just say Clue Master. I'm looking for clues. I'm very focused on being aware.
Okay, yeah.
This time. Okay, thank you, Random Dice Roller, for giving me a 5 again. I know that this is random, but like seriously.
Okay. That is between extraordinary and arduous. So I say you hear, maybe not crystal clear, but you get the gist. Like it's Bill's voice, you hear the word help, and so you're aware of it.
Cool. She's gonna make her way back. She's gonna stop in the bathroom and wash her hands and come out with like a paper. I'm assuming they have like really fancy like handkerchief paper towels.
Oh man, yeah. It's got a couple of different options. It has there's the air dryer. But then it's the old cloth style that you have to pull and it cycles on itself type of one. But those are the only two options.
Okay, so she's going to like dry her hands and then walk out the door and back onto the stage and like try to slip in to the crowd and just hopefully find Bill again.
It's hard to miss him. He is head and shoulders above everybody. Like you can find him.
Sweet. So, she kind of wanders up to Bill. Is Bill still next to the CEO?
No, the CEO walked away. He's greeting some other people, like Perfect. A lot of glad handing, and Bill is just where Bill is.
Perfect. She kind of taps Bill and goes, hey, Bill, the bathroom was very nice here, and I had a very nice little bathroom break in the women's powder room, and we should probably be, making our way. I'm famished, so I could like some actual food to eat.
I agree. On the way out, he passes the doorman and looks at Maeve and goes, "She was taking a poop. That's where she was, nosy."
You see his eyebrows rave over his sunglasses like, oh.
Yes, your liquor is not very nice on the stomach, no?
I get it.
So Bill explains to Maeve what he learned about the coin, that if we ring a bell twice with the coin, that the coins will disappear. So all we have to do is find a bell and ring it twice, and we can disappear half the money in this city. Actually,
And Maeve kind of reaches in her bag and goes, "Is this coin?"
that's the one, I think. He said it was in a fancy container, and that container looks fancy.
Awesome. Shall we, I'm just going to, and she like shoves it back in the bottom of her bag. We should probably find this bell rather quickly because, it's only a matter of time before, just discovers this is missing.
Is there a church in this town?
There is not a church in this town. You do know that when he told you where he was when he heard those bells, that is the neighboring town over. So Brindlestoke is just like a little bit west-southwest of this town.
Uh-huh.
So it's close.
I think we need to take this to Brindlestoke. Well, hold on. Before he leaves, he takes a champagne glass next to it and clings it twice to see if stuff disappears, just with a ringing sound.
Nothing happens.
Okay. Then I think we need to go to Brindlestoke and ring the bell 2 times, but perhaps we should move quickly, because I think it is only a matter of time before they realize we have stolen their magic coin.
Yes, this is true, and also, based off what you say, he might not have acquired his bell that is in the back of the warehouse quite so legally. So perhaps we could, I don't know, set the town guard upon him to distract him long enough for us to, ring the bell, and we could have backup.
Sure.
Okay, so which path are you following?
I think we should just go straight there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going straight to the neighboring town with the temple?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, you make it there. It's this community is like a logging farming community, very agricultural, a big contrast to the town you were just in. It backs up to the woods, and that's where the logging area is. Everything before that, you see a lot of fields. As you approach, you see a man with a food cart at the front. In the middle of town in the distance, you see a large white stone building that is clearly a temple.
Let's head.
Maeve goes up to the food cart man and says, "Hello, I am new to this town. Is entrance into your temple free?"
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, you can make it there. Yeah, I would say it's free. It's hope is for everyone, and it should be free. That's our temple.
Does it have bells?
It's funny. It did. And then about a month ago, there was a gentleman down from the other city, bought the bells, the both of them, and took them away. So usually we ring them at the Harvest Festival, but with the amount of money he gave us, we should be able to recast them in maybe 9-10 months just in time. So not a problem.
Well, I have some bad news for you. The gold that he gave you, at least most of it, is going to disappear. He turns to Maeve and says, I think the bells that were in his warehouse are those bells. So I think it's time to get rowdy.
Yes. We should probably... Oh, I don't know. How do you feel about knocking down some walls?
I feel pretty good about it.
Excellent. Let us go. And Maeve's plan is to just go behind the building to the warehouse and try to bust through.
Okay.
Kool-Aid Man
plan.
style?
Yes, Kool-Aid Man style
I think Bill's big
Bill.
enough that we could make that happen.
Okay, you see, as you approach the warehouse, you see a lot of like doors that would open and close to allow the carts in to back up, and they're all closed. there's so much activity that you can hear through the walls inside the warehouse that nobody's really on the outside. Give me a cliche roll for each of you, whoever's busting through the walls.
Before we go in, Bill is going to pick up 2 big rocks because the first thing he's going to try to do when he goes in is throw rocks at the bells to ring them twice to make the gold disappear.
Okay.
So now I need to make a cliche roll to see if I make it through the wall, correct?
Correct. And there are the doors also, which may be easier, but it's up to you. Like, the doors are kind of on one side. There's one back wall that is completely wall, but it would be probably the less obvious entrance, so more advantageous once you get in.
So
again, one's easier to get in. Yeah, go ahead.
These online dice rollers are, I'm glad low is what we're shooting for, because on a D8 I rolled a 1.
Dude, that's,
Kula just, oh yeah, right through the wall.
you not only bust through the wall, but there's a shockwave that comes with you that pushes everything out of your way. And so there's a card on the left, card on the right, filled with gold. People kind of scattered. They're not injured, just the wind's been knocked out of them, or they're on the floor, but they're not hurt. And as you take in the side of the warehouse, and I'm assuming, Maeve, you're behind Bill, but walking to the side?
She's got her bow drawn for now.
Okay. So you're kind of in the midst of where some of the coins are. It looked like, based on the activity of the people leading up to where you are, they're loading carts. They're putting gold in the carts. And you see, kind of back left from your perspective, the one bell that you saw earlier, Maeve, on just like an arch ready to be rung.
So how big is this bell?
It's pretty massive. It's I don't know if you can gather the Liberty Bell, but it would be 4 times as large. Like, it's big.
Okay, is it on a rope or a chain?
It is on a rope.
Excellent. Maeve takes her arrow, dips it in her hair to set it on fire, and fires it to the rope because she's assuming that's the bell that needs to be rung to, like, make the extra money, and she's just stopping that.
Okay.
For now.
Do you have a cliche related to your archery?
I do, and it's called My Special Interest is a Bow.
Excellent. Let's see what you roll.
And for our listeners out there, that's a D6 roll.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead and roll it. It's gonna pass.
It's her special interest. She's really good at it. It's a 2.
Yes. That is beyond extraordinary that the arrow sails to the air before anybody knows what's happening, and you sever the rope tying the bell. The bell comes down onto the floor, makes a quick tone, but not like a bell ringing, like not the peal of a bell, because the clacker, which is the official name of the thing inside the bell, it just falls straight down. And so they're not able to swing it left and right to allow it to ring. And that is when people start freaking out.
Excellent. So the bell came from over there, and she points. The other one is probably over there. I have bought us, I don't know, probably 2 minutes. So let's be quick.
Do we see the second bell?
It's not out, but there is a very secure area with what looks to be soundproofing all around it. Like it's something that seems like if you were in a recording studio, you could see through into the studio, and it's got all that specialized conical looking wall application. There's something in there that is big enough to accommodate something like the bell that you just knocked down.
Bill is going to Kool-Aid Man Part 2 on that thing and try to bust through that wall.
All right, give me a roll.
An 8. So Bill just runs and bong, just glances off.
Yeah. You fall down, the rocks that you're holding spill from your hands, and that is when the guy you saw at the reception desk, Walter, comes in and he's accompanied by a similarly dressed guy, and they see you, and then they see the bell, and then they see Maeve, and then they see the giant hole in their warehouse, and people are running and screaming, and so you are now in a battle.
Okay.
And you're closest, so they're going to try to both jump on you. And since you're on the ground, I'm going to say that you're third. Maeve, you'll be fourth, and these two guys are going to go first.
You know, if any of them would have been a failed one, I feel like that thematically was the best one to happen.
Yes, absolutely. All right. The first guy's a tiefling, and he has a cliche called High School Martial Arts Champion, D12, and he's going to throw some kung fu your way, Bill.
I'm going to respond with a living statue because I'm made of stone. Good luck hurting me.
All right. Ooh. Okay, he got a 10. What did you roll?
A 5.
Okay, so listener, whenever there is a battle, a contested series of rolls between two characters, whoever loses, in this case the tiefling, his die size increases. So now instead of a D12, it is a D16, if he wants to continue that. So what that looks like narratively is he tries to kick you in the side of the face, and he ends up cracking his foot on your stone face. And,
so he does successfully kick me. It just doesn't.
He gets you,
yeah.
but you're a living statue, so that wasn't the best move. And so he kind of bounces back, and he's going to re-strategize, and he's going to do a lot more. Hold on a second. So he's going to try that again, but he's going to do a lot more throwing. Like he's going to try to throw you.
I'm going to stick with walking statue because I weigh, or living statue, I weigh a couple 1,000 pounds.
Okay. What did you roll?
A 4?
He also got a 4. So we're going to do a roll off.
Do I roll my D8 again?
Yeah.
2.
It'll be like a push. He got a 15. So as he tries to use his leverage, like at first he thinks he's got you, but you counter. And so he repositions himself, and that's what the tie was. So he repositions himself to do like an Aikido move where he uses your momentum against you. But your momentum is basically you're a statue that's stuck. And so he throws his back out trying to flip you. And so then he increases from a D16 to a D20. So he's in pretty bad shape. And so he's trying to reconsider how to get you. And he decides he was always told to sweep the leg when he was in high school. So that's what he's going to try to do.
Well, good luck beating a 1. I like this
4.
dice roller.
So he got a 4. You got to tell me which dice roller that is so I can get some better rolls.
It's just Google's. I just Googled D20 dice roller, and it's what came up. It's the one that's standard on their site.
Well, listener, rolladie.net seems more varied in its rolls, and I got a 4, which would be great, but instead of sweeping your legs, he ends up having a compound fracture in his femur, and the shock sends him to being passed out. So he's out of action.
Okay.
The human, Walter, that you met earlier, sees this, decides messing with you is probably not the right idea, and he sees Maeve, and so he's going to try to go up against you, and he's going to use the cliche amateur chef with serious knife skills, and he's going to throw a knife at you.
Can I shoot it out of the air?
That sounds great. I know your bow is your special interest, so I would love to see that.
Okay. A 2.
That beats his 9. The knife was heading toward you, but just like a miracle, your arrow knocks his flying knife out of the air and then continues to hit him in the thigh. That's how
she blows him a kiss. This is like
he is furious. So what he does is he takes the arrow and snaps off the shaft so it's not sticking out, even though the arrow head is still in his thigh. He starts kind of gingerly galloping toward you to try and close the distance so that he can use a knife at an advantage where you wouldn't be at distance, you know what I mean, at range. So he's running toward you right now. And I'm going to say, I want to see if I can use the same cliche or not. He has another cliche called a fighter, not a lover. And he's going to use that one to close the distance.
Maeve is going to swing her bow onto her back and draw her sword. And she's going to use the cliche, ooh, the lady on fire is a hothead.
Excellent. What did you roll?
I'm going to roll. I switched to your websites and I got to switch through. Go. Oof. An 8.
Ooh, he got a 7. So basically he was just trying to close the distance, and he does without issue. And so now he's on you. He's going to switch back to... Go ahead.
So the D8 becomes a D12, right?
D10.
D10.
He's going to switch back to the knife skills one, and he's going to try to cut you up.
Awesome. She's going to hit him with her sword.
All right. What's your roll?
It is a 5.
Oh, he got a 13 on a D16. So he goes up to D20, and he is almost out for the count. At this point, I'm going to see if Bill wants to do anything during this fight, either help Maeve or try to accomplish the goal you were accomplishing earlier. We'll get back to your fight. We're still in the middle of a battle.
I feel like Bill would try to help Maeve before he did anything else.
Okay. So I'll let you initiate a battle with him as well. So you're kind of like doing a pincer attack on him?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm going to use my cliche aspiring hero because I know how to fight, and I'm going to try to swing at him. Actually, let me use your dice roller because I don't think another 1 is a good idea. Hey, I'm still lucky with a 3.
Nice. I rolled a 1.
Ah, not
on a
that
D12.
lucky then.
Oh, no.
I used a fighter, not a lover. And so he definitely dodges your swing and then uses it to, I guess he probably couldn't do anything directly to you, but you're putting so much force behind your swing that you tumble forward and injure yourself.
Okay, that's fair.
And now it's back to Maeve. He's going to try to get you. Go ahead.
Can I soliloquy here real quick?
Oh, yes, listeners. You can do a way to, yes, this is a way to level up your character where you do a soliloquy, do a roll of fate, and then something can happen. So, yes, you have an uninterrupted speech.
So is this speech like to the audience or is this to the people that are there? I wasn't sure how that worked.
It can be either.
Does it matter?
Whatever you feel like.
So Maeve, as time stops, does a fourth wall break because her controller has been watching a lot of Ultimate Spider-Man lately, and goes, "See this? Now, if I did not see and someone who's made of stone walk into a warehouse, what did you think was gonna happen? We're just gonna cause a little bit of chaos and maybe explode the whole thing down, but." To be honest, I really thought that these guys would be a little bit more of a challenge. The guy who runs this place needs better security. Well, maybe it'll be a job in the future, and I do feel kind of bad for beating up the customer service worker, but that is life. And, yeah, I'm going to go kick his butt now. And goes to swing on him. And then I need to roll a fate.
So it's a little unclear to me what the roll of fate is. I'm going to let you roll a d20. And if you roll under meet or beat your cliche that you're trying to improve, it goes down a die level.
Sweet. Ooh, I did not meet it. I have a 13 and I was trying to lower the lady on fire is a hothead.
Which die do you have for that one?
It is a D10 right now.
Oh, you beat it then. You exceed it. If you exceed the D10.
Oh, okay.
So now the D10 is a D8.
Sweet. Awesome. And then she's gonna not necessarily go for the kill, but at the bare minimum, go for the get him out of the way. All
right. Describe what happens as you try to go after him.
Because he's running. He's not on the floor. He's running at me still.
He's at you. And so, he's got a knife out and he's ready to stab you.
Sweet. She just goes, bring a knife to a sword fight. That is a rookie move. and does like a Peter Pan flippy flip with her sword and is trying to just flip the knife out and will, I guess, hamstring him so he can't move.
Okay.
Because she doesn't necessarily want to kill the poor customer service worker, but she will if he doesn't want to just like bow out after that.
All right. Go ahead and roll and tell me what you get.
D8. Oh, a 4.
He got an 8 on a D20, so he is now out of action. So the way that looked is you flip the knife out of his hand. It goes flying. It actually goes next to the tiefling fighter, but he's unconscious. And so he just kind of collapses defeated. And as the winner of the battle, you get to choose what happens to him.
Is he looking like he might try to make a comeback, or is he given up?
He looks pretty spent. Like he tried. He still got an arrowhead in his leg that he needs dealt with, and it's starting to make its presence known.
She kind of bends down and goes, "Next time, pulls the whole arrow out. Those are not free," and then hits him on the head to knock him out.
He is knocked out. So we're out of battle. Congratulations on subduing these two guys. There's a bunch of workers. They're not trained. They're just running around, and they're fleeing once they see you beating the crap out of the known badasses, so to speak. And so they're like, we're out of here. Bell is on the ground. Soundproof room is still intact.
Bill's going to take another running start at the soundproof room and see if he can get it now.
Okay.
Is there a door into the soundproof room?
There is a door right next to the bill-shaped impact of the wall that he tried to run into.
Maeve taps Bill on the shoulder as she's seeing him gear up and goes, "So, as much as I appreciate the Kool-Aid Man action, perhaps we do this in the opposite direction. We open the door, and you ring the bell, and then we bust out."
Well, fine, if you want to do it the easy way.
Oh, no, by all means. Go bust down the wall, but I'll be using the door.
All right. It's just a rolling steel door.
Bill follows through the door, but a little sulkily.
It's a rolling steel door, not locked. It just rolls right up. Inside, there's a bunch of, it's kind of used as a haphazard storage area also, but toward the middle, there is a similar, not identical, but similar bell with script around the middle, and it is sitting over there.
Can we roll this bell out of here through the door?
Yes, it is on a pallet, and there is a pallet jack in that room.
Then I say we roll it out of this room and ring the bell.
All right. It is sitting directly on a pallet, so you'll need to suspend it.
Would that be a cliche roll? Oh.
It's pretty heavy, so I would say yes.
Living statue?
Yeah, I guess you could be maybe like a counterweight on a pulley or something. I don't know.
And just for the fun of it, can I do a soliloquy?
Yes, go right ahead.
So Bill stops and turns and goes, "I've been waiting my whole life to use all of my weight. I've always light-footed around, but for once, I get to use it all." And he counterweights and lays down, so that's going to be a D6 for a 3.
Did you roll a D20?
Oh, no, I didn't. First, I got to roll a D20. I always forgot that. Hold on. D20.
Because it might be a D4.
A 10, the most boring of all rolls.
Okay, well, you beat your cliche size, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it shrinks down 1 die size.
Okay, so then it's going to be a D6. And I rolled a 2.
All right, so describe how it looks. You succeed.
So what Bill is going to do is he's going to come and stand on the opposite side of the pallet. So it kind of tilts up. And as it's tilting, Bill catches the bell and takes the clacker in one hand and just starts knocking it against the side of the bell. So it's not suspended from anything. Bill has the pallet at an angle and is tipping the bell and using the clacker to ring the bell.
All right. So as you do that, there is what feels like an earthquake. But that with its origin point kind of where all the carts are, you're away from the carts now because you're kind of in the bell area, so to speak. The whole edifice starts shaking, and what happens is you start seeing coins like vibrating and then almost flipping out of existence but merging into a single one. So you see 2 just kind of become 1, or like 4 become 2, 2 become 1, but as exponentially reversed. Mm-hmm. And so all of this energy and activity is slowly collapsing in on itself until the coin in Maeve's bag starts shaking violently, and all this energy is coming directly at your bag to the coin that you're holding.
She just kind of tosses the bag on the floor.
Okay, as you do so, how far would you throw it from you, would you say?
Oh, like 6-ish feet.
Okay, so all this stored up energy from the coins collapses in, and then you start seeing coins from outside the warehouse kind of flying in and merging. So it's just over and over and over again, and it's all absorbing back into this coin, and your bag is fluttering and is picked up off the ground as coin after coin after coin reunites with this original coin, so to speak. And the noise, the vibrational noise, catches the attention of the people in the investors, and they come out to see what's wrong. They do see their carts with no coins, but then they see a large, sealed, fancy cart with a door open that is filled with gold coins that are unaffected. And so Rictavio runs out, sees what you've done. He sees the bell that you're holding, Bill, puts 2 and 2 together, and he makes his way to this secure, like an armored carriage, so to speak. He makes his way there and starts departing.
Can Maeve step in front of him before he makes it all the way over there?
This will be a contest.
And if not,
so what is it? Huh?
Bill wants to knock over the cart before it can leave.
Well, you're holding a massive bell, and the cart is far away from you. So I'll need another roll from you to kind of negotiate that also.
Deal.
Feel free to do that while I'm stopping this man.
Is it a straight line to the cart? Could I roll the bell at the cart?
You could roll the bell at the cart, yes.
That's what I want to do.
All right, give me a roll that would allow that to happen.
And then I will be rolling, the lady on fire is the hothead, to just like sword to chin. Where are you going?
Okay.
Do you think aspiring hero, because I'm trying to save the day here? I'm going to say yes, aspiring hero.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to kick the bell at him, and on a D8, I got 4.
Nice. Maeve, what did you get?
I got an 8 on a D8.
All right, I'm going to send a screen capture to the chat.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You got a 1.
I got a 1.
I knew it.
And so your bell rolls toward the carriage, but since you know how if you try to roll something that's not cylindrical, it kind of rolls and turns?
Mm-hmm.
So it does that, and it's going straight for the carriage, but it turns and knocks a hole in front of the carriage.
Oh, no.
And so Rictavio is able to deftly avoid all of this. This is still while the coins are absorbing. He jumps in the carriage and starts departing, but it's not secure. Like, he didn't have time to close the door and secure it. So as he's leaving, a trail of gold is following him. You know what I mean?
Well, Maeve turns to the investors and goes, so, as most rich people, I'm sure you have access to guns for hire, and if you do not, she raises her hand and she goes, I am taking jobs currently. The man was running a scheme and was giving you essentially what is fool's gold, fake gold. You might want to, I don't know, hunt him down and get your gold back, because it just rolled out of there. I have a little old lady that needs some medicine, so I'm going to go deal with that because I have uncovered the corruption in this town. Thank you, and have an excellent day. And she like bows and starts to head out the door, the giant bell-shaped hole.
The first thing Bill is going to do is go over to the bell that doubles the money and try to put a big dent in it so it changes the sound of the bell. And then he's going to try to squish the coin so it no longer looks like a coin. To hope, like the magic coin, I'm going to try to stomp on it with all of my weight to try to like flatten it out. So hopefully break the spell so this can't happen again.
Cool. So yeah, you do that. No roll necessary. The bells are the one that made the hole is dented a little bit. The one that you punched a dent into also dented. Their tones are forever changed. The coin is now no longer recognizable as a coin. It's like if you go to a penny mushing place that's what it looks like. And it has a nice engraving of whatever Bill has on his hand or foot. Oh, the tread of your shoe. That's what it looks like.
It says Andy.
Nice. The investors are just flummoxed. They're kind of paralyzed into, we've been hoodwinked. Like they didn't realize this was even a possibility. But eventually the quicker-witted of them start following the carriage. Like they get on their own carriage to follow Rictavio. And if nothing else, to collect this line of gold that's following out of his cart. As you leave and approach the town, Maeve, you see some of the shops and buildings with holes all through them, like coin-shaped holes, as all the coins that they had that were fake flew out and penetrated the walls. Nobody seems hurt, screaming, crying, anything like that, but there are a lot of edifices that are more porous than they were before, and so that is what things look like. And people are starting to wander out of their shops like, what happened?
Maeve is going to go back to the Valmart offices and knock on the door.
All right. You're there, and he says, back already. Did you discover anything?
Yeah, the man is a liar, and he was using magic to duplicate money and to artificially inflate the amount of money around here. And also, you owe me a new bag, because when we undid the spell, the coins destroyed my bag, and about 100 gold pieces as well. Because I care less about the gold pieces, except for I need like 5 or so I can buy this woman's medicine at minimum. But I do care about the bag, because I cannot carry stuff without the bag. And you are a man that has products, so like, please.
It is not a problem. And you see this huge toothy grin appear on his face. He's very satisfied. He's like, duplicating money with magic, that seems so dishonorable. What happened to fair trade? Yes, please. I have many bags at normally very reasonable prices, but for you, you may pick anything you like from my store for free.
Do you also have really great hats?
I have a great selection of hats. It is not the finest hats. I bring hats within the reach of the common man. Usually they go to haberdasher, and it is very expensive. These are mass-produced, maybe not very fancy, but might be something that you enjoy. Please, take some hats as a reward.
Shopping montage.
Shopping. Yeah.
Maeve's gonna walk away, just so it's not recorded, gonna walk away with like a chain bag, so now it won't melt or singe like her poor leather bag that had some burn marks. And then she's gonna look at the hats, sigh, and be like, someday I shall find the perfect hat, like the one I found in the underworld, even if I must wring it out of the god of the underworld myself.
All right. Anything else after Walmart?
Get the prescription for Sinoja and head back to the FBKs to give her drugs.
All right. You head back to the pharmacy, Rexcellent Remedies. Duncan is shocked to hear your story of what happened, but is glad to see that this calamity's over. He, a man of his word, he gives you the medicine for free, but it does take like a couple of hours to make. And it's pretty gross, the stuff he has to put in there. He gives you a nice bag with 2 of those and an ice cream each, even though he doesn't realize Bill doesn't eat or drink, but he still wants to give you something nice. And you make your way down to the guild, give Sinoja the medicine, and she gives you another silver each because she's so proud of each of you.
Aw. And all the backstories and the blackmail stories that we could need for Nulisak.
Yes.
He says,
Well, that will take a lot of energy, and I'm very tired. It'll take about a day for this medicine to kick in, but please come to my cottage and we'll have stories and stories.
and Nulisak just kind of frowns like, not excited to hear all those embarrassing stories of him. But, hooray! You solved the problem. Sinoja has her medicine. The economy is fine. Rictavio did escape, so he's on the lam. But most everything else got undone. So, the floor, the lobby, destroyed. That was all fake gold. So, yeah, you're now have a good relationship with the owner of Valachenko Mart. And you now have many, many embarrassing stories of Nulisak to use however you please.
Sweet.
And 2 silver each.
Ooh, big spender.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I have a plate-sized piece of gold.
That's right. Oh, so you kept the
Why not?
the coin?
Yeah,
Okay,
why
yeah.
not? All right.
All right. Well, that was our episode, listener. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had as much fun as we did, or more. We will accept that you had more fun. Tune in to the next episode to see how that group does it. We'll find out. Well, thank you very much. And joining us today were Bill.
I hope I did what was right in the end. I feel like I did.
And Maeve.
The Hat Quest continues. But listeners, if you would like to drop us a review somewhere, because we're pretty much everywhere podcasts are listened to, we'll read it on the air. You might have noticed we didn't have one to read this week, which means if you drop one right now, you could be on next week's episode. So drop us a line.
5 stars. 5 stars is the right rating. Yes. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
You've reached the end of the show where we tell you about a podcast that you might enjoy. Have you heard of True Crime Cat Lawyer? Lawyer by day, crazy cat lady by night. This is a true crime podcast hosted by a lawyer and her mustache bow tie kitty, focused on cases from the Pacific Northwest. They release new episodes every other Thursday. Check out True Crime Cat Lawyer, a podcast.